Welcome to another episode of Assault Rifle Basics. I'm your host, Perry Lloyd.
And I'm his co-host, Buck Tyrell. Now, I know we're just going to continue our discussion on the AK-47, but last time I kind of had a problem with the ammo, or the caliber, actually, because the AK-47 uses the metric system, right?
Yeah, you're right. And for we Americans, the metric system can be a real challenge because we don't use it for anything. However, did you know that the military uses the metric system?
Really?
Yeah, you've seen the movies where they say the enemy is about 20 clicks down the road.
Clicks, huh?
Clicks, kilometer.
Okay, I get it.
But understanding caliber in general can be a real challenge.
Yeah. Well, why don't we go ahead and try to clear it up then by watching an explanation of some ammo calibers.
All right. Calibers are generally measured by the diameter of the bullet or the bore of the rifle. There are two kinds of measuring systems, the US and British units of measure and the metric system. In the metric system, the first number is the diameter of the bullet, the second number is its length. This is measured from the tip of the slug to the bottom of the cartridge. In the American-British system, the diameter is measured in inches, or rather, parts of an inch. In this example, we have 30/100ths of an inch. The .30 caliber. The length of the cartridge is not considered. However, we tack on things like who the manufacturer is, the year the cartridge was invented, even the grain of powder that's used, and its hitting power. The .30-06 Springfield, for example, takes into account the manufacturer and the year it was invented. .06 standing for 1906. The second .30 in the .30-30 Winchester stands for the 30 grains of powder used in the cartridge. In summary, the Americans and British just basically gave each bullet a name.
You know, Perry, since we're on the subject of numbers, why don't we go ahead and look at some of the statistics of an AK-47?
Sure. If you remember in the first episode of Assault Rifle Basics, I think I mentioned that there were over a bazillion AKs out there in the world.
A bazillion? Come on.
All right. Bazillion is not a real number, but...
No kidding, really. Actually, after a little research, we found that so many have been made that there's no real way to get an accurate count, but estimates put it about around 50 million made in the last 55 years.
A bazillion?
Dude, that's enough with the bazillion.
An AK-47 has a rate of fire, otherwise known as rounds per minute, of 600 rounds per minute.
600 rounds per minute? Wow, dude. How long would it take to empty a clip of 30 rounds?
Oh, yes. 600 rounds a minute, you say? Oh, that's quite simple, actually. We'll divide the 600 rounds by 60 seconds, giving us a roundage, a number, some product of 10 rounds per second. And if you have 30 rounds in a clip, 30. Then you would divide times the 10 rounds per second by 3, and you come up with, it's 3 seconds. You can empty a clip in 3 seconds. Yes.
Depending on the AK and the ammo it's using, it has an effective range of 800 meters.
The AKs have evolved over the years into many different versions. And this is a particular version that my company imports and rebuilds here in the US. This is a Vepr. As you can see, it's built on the RPK receiver with the raised area here. You can see the fit and finish is extremely fine on this rifle. This Vepr is probably the finest or best made AK. It has a heavier barrel than a standard AK. It is chrome lined and hammer forged for additional life. The chrome lining, by the way, makes it so it's easier to clean and has longer life. The hammer forging is just a process where the barrels are made by forcing the barrel material down on a mandrel and creating the rifling rather than trying to cut it with other tools. They make some of the most durable barrels. It's very much like the AK I first showed you, but it's got a longer stock, a little more modern look. It's got a pistol grip with a better angle to it. And so when you hold onto this rifle, you find it's much more comfortable than shooting a standard AK. It's got a longer handguard too, which doesn't transfer the heat as much as the wood handguard. So in many ways, it's a modern AK.